My best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. I saw no shadow. I looked around, searched every building and home that I found. I saw no shadow, but felt a glow. The warmth inside me kept me afloat. It felt like heaven had found my bones and gave me comfort when I feel alone. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. If I fall, break my bones, I will scream even louder. 'Cause I'm not dying alone. I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. My best friend to 23. I heard the heavens crying above me. They gained an angel, I lost a friend. I felt like dying again and again. I went through hell, stared at death, but I keep fighting with each living breath. I saw no way out from where I stood. Felt like the fire had burned me through. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone.
What happened? There is no
Talking to
sound.
people? We're talking to nobody?
Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
All right. Listen, you guys, Chaz has had some computer issues. We should be back, and Chaz's computer no longer has a fever because he has a cooling system that may actually work. What's up, nerds? Welcome back to the Aggressively Average Angler podcast. And tonight we do have, Chaz is holding up for us to see that you guys can't see, a gigantic cooling system that seems like it comes from a vehicle, but is made for a computer. So that's interesting. It is. So we do have a guest tonight. This guest is Chad Hoover. Where is Chad Hoover right now? He's in a team meeting for some captains or something for a tournament that's already going down. There's like a couple of tournaments going down. They're sprinkled throughout the year, as you guys know.
You're telling me there's more than one?
There may be. There's only one that counts for us that we care about, the Knucklehead Bass Series, which is going down in just about a month.
And is the basis for today's show.
It's exactly it. So we want to talk about tournament prep. We're going to have some fun, get into some things here. We will be getting Hoover on in a slight while. No promises on how many minutes that'll be. Hopefully sooner rather than later. We're going to yoink him into the system here and have some fun talking about tournament prep. For the time being, though, as we wait for Mr. Hoover, we want to talk to you guys. Maybe you've done some tournaments before. What have you learned from them? What has your prep setup been? We'll talk about what we kind of intend on doing with our lack of tournament experience. And I think that'll be a lot of fun. And we'll get through at least our Q of the D and maybe a couple minutes of that before we get Chad in here. Real quick, while I got you guys, though, there's something I keep forgetting to ask. And like, I guess you're supposed to do this for podcasts or something. If you wouldn't mind, if you guys are listening to these podcasts, please drop us a 5-star review anywhere that you listen. It doesn't matter what app it is. They have a rating system. Go ahead and just pop a 5 in there. Thank you so much. You're the best nerd in the whole wide world if you do that. And as always, super chats are on. If you want to support the show, that's how we buy tackle and gear to review. All right. So, Paul, you want to get into it? Oh, there's a giveaway.
Ready.
Giveaway at the end of the episode as well.
And one last piece of housekeeping. There is a fishing rod that you and I are going to be receiving new versions of that we actually designed ourselves in partnership with Monster Bass. That is available for pre-order and ships within the next 2-ish weeks, November 1st. We've been talking about it a whole bunch on and off with the show, as well as on Instagram and everywhere else. It is an ultralight rod. It's a 6-footer. It is sensitive as heck, and it's really designed for mule fishing type jigs. So it's amazing. I've got one. There are 4 of them on the way. We're going to give one to Ethan, and oh my God, Rock bought 2 of them like a friggin' boss.
Heck yeah.
The coolest thing about these, you guys, is that one, the balance point on these is amazing. So when you stick your finger out and you set the rod, if you have a 500 or a 1000 size reel, I've tested it with both, just with the ones that I have. The balance point is going to be a little bit closer to your hand, like right where your hand hits the reel. And that is really a nice balance for casting, right? It's a little bit easier on the casting, but it's way more sensitive. Also, this rod, I took a minimum of 6 hours directly emailing overnight with the manufacturer, constantly testing to get the action exactly where I wanted it. They sent me a model. I messed with it. I sent them feedback. They sent me another model, and I went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth with them about where we wanted the break point and how far we wanted to bend to hit the 132-ounce weight range, to manage that weight easily. So at the bottom end, this is really like prime for like 132 to 1/8 of an ounce. It'll go up to a quarter, but 132 to 1/8 of an ounce is where it really shines. So it is like a true ultra light. The thing is awesome. And on top of all of that, it is black with the purple and chartreuse accents, and it looks cool as heck. And it says aggressively have janglers on it.
These colors?
And it's amazing. Yep,
with
those
this
colors
logo
right there.
Yeah.
So that rod exists. You can go pre-order it. And honestly, guys, this may be the only run that looks like this. You may be able to buy this rod later, like the same rod, because it's awesome, and I recommend you do that. But the ones with this color scheme, like these are the ones. So like, go get them.
It's going to default to black and orange because it is a Monster Bass rod. So if you want to pre-order it, just go to monsterbass.com. You can go to their rod selection, and then you can see it there. Charles will probably also post a link here in a little bit, so you can check that out.
Charles like,
well.
yeah.
Yeah,
I will now, I guess.
We appreciate every single nerd hitting up that pre-order. They should be shipping out around November 1. At least that is what Rick has told us. So if it does not ship out at that time, do not shoot us. We are the messengers.
And I have caught, you guys testing this rod, I have caught at least 100 bluegill. At least
multiple,
100.
Didn't you catch a 4 or 5 pound
multiple 3.5+ pound smallmouth?
Yeah.
Dude, the thing can I have also caught on Lake St. Clair all of the trash fish. So like, we've tested it on catfish, we've tested it on like ultralight spinners, open hook jigs, drop shots, like you name it. I've messed with it. It
does it all.
It's awesome. So it's legit.
And we hope that everybody enjoys it. Sly Fox Fishing. Yes, I do know that Jamar was waiting for approval. I have just approved him right before
handled.
The show. The Fishing Chaos app doesn't like send me a notification, so I had no idea. I just had to,
you have to like go in and check. It's basically like you're at the mercy of like you checking the app. It's not going to tell you anything.
Everyone on both of our teams secured, kayaks secured, camping sites secured. We're going to a tournament. So let's talk about what the heck we should be planning on doing for said tournament. But we'll start with the Q of the D since we're still waiting for our guests. So
we will start with the Q of the D, and I have a fun one. And I would also say that I want some input from y'all on this one. So my son is like getting into Pokemon, and this morning he goes, "Hey Dad, can we listen to the Pokemon theme song like on the way to school?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" So I slap it in. Now I did this on Spotify. Spotify has like the original song, like from the TV show. It literally says like from the hit TV show, like Pokemon.
Yep.
So I play it, right?
I'm gonna be the very best.
And first of all, I was shocked at how much this was like if Michael Jackson was in an 80s hair band. That's the vibe that the singer gives off. Like, it's amazing. Like, it's really, he's got pipes. So anyways, we're listening to the song, and then
like no one ever was.
Like no one ever was. Dun, 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 to catch them. It's my real test. It's incredible. So then he goes through the whole song, right? And I'm like, I'm thinking it's ending. Because this was at the point in the show where the intro for the TV show, the song ends. There are 2 more verses, my dude. And when he goes to transition to the next one,
Yeah.
All he does, he goes, yeah, and then it kicks into like the next, and it only gets
Nice.
better. It's incredible. So this spurred on. I started thinking about like all of the TV show songs like that really slapped that had no business slapping.
Yeah.
For example, Sonic the Hedgehog. There's no reason for that song, that theme
so
song for that
good.
TV show to be that good.
X-Men,
X-Men,
the animated series.
Rager. And then I started thinking about like real TV shows. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, everywhere you look from Full House is instantly. It doesn't matter who you are or if you like that show or not. You will not get that out of your brain. Everywhere you look, like it's in there, and you know what? Knight Rider.
Oh, so good.
Like it's incredible. Home Improvement.
Yeah.
Bad Boys. Boy Meets World is pretty good. Dukes of Hazzard.
Well, it's gonna
Twin Peaks, X-Files,
Twin Peaks, solid.
SpongeBob,
Yeah.
all that. This is all that, dude. That there's Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Kenan and Kel was pretty freaking. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Why did that have to be so good? Why did that have to be so good?
Yeah. And it being the 90s, it got acapellaed.
100%, and it had like tech in the background. It was wild. So Airwolf,
gosh.
what is that? G.I. Joe theme song.
It's a helicopter one, right? I think so.
G.I. Joe theme song. It really doesn't. It really didn't have to be that good. It really didn't.
All I ever think about with G.I. Joe is the dub versions where they like make fun of it.
100%.
They're so good.
So my question for you is, what song like will never leave your head when you hear it? Like if you watch the TV show, like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I mean they're
Dragon, grab the Dragon Ball Z. Wow.
That one's a banger. The other one's not so much. There are other ones that are not as great.
No, for sure.
I feel like the biggest one is the guitar lick from Power Rangers.
Oh, dude, I just watched that with my wife. Oh my god, it's so good.
It rips so hard.
It just why does it have to shred so much gnar
for just like a fake karate show?
Where the bad guys are mainly just clay bots that have been extra baked. Law and Order is another one. That's a really good answer, actually. And Captain Planet. Oh my god.
Captain Planet and Ninja Turtles.
Gonna take pollution down to zero.
I mean, we've all sung that. I mean, if you grew up when we grew up, we've all sung that song 1,000 times. Ninja Turtles, Turtle Power, like come on.
Another, you know what? And they have a character called the Shredder. So yeah, I mean that was gonna happen for sure. So I mean A-Team was pretty good, but it doesn't get instantly suck into your head. MASH is another one that I don't know why, but whenever I hear the theme song from MASH, like I get vibes come into my body and they're good. Like they're solid.
Julie Rousseau called out one of my favorite shows of all time, Psych. It's a fantastic show. The creator of the show wrote and sang the theme song, which is pretty cool. Yeah. And it's really good. And they made it Halloween themed every season. So they would do a Halloween and a Christmas version and stuff. Like it was good. It's a good show. You guys should check it out. It's on Peacock. If you guys have Peacock, go watch it. Stream it.
MASH was legit and it always slapped. Facts of Life.
Yep.
But SpongeBob too, though. Like even as an adult, like I wasn't a kid when SpongeBob was like fiery hot. It's still just Addams Family. I get that one. It's just not like I don't like it. Like it gets stuck in your head, but I don't.
It's kind of like the Monster Mash. Like whenever the song
Monster Mash,
the Monster Mash is always going to come on. You go to a Halloween party. You're like, okay, here's the Monster Mash.
And you're like,
nobody likes that anymore.
Darkwing Duck. So
there we go.
Rescue Rangers was the one I was going to call out.
And
that was the one.
Woo!
Dang, yeah, it slaps. But Saved by the Bell, Tailspin is a sleeper because you don't.
That's a whole universe right there. By the way,
no one liked that show. No one liked that show, Tailspin, but the song was so good.
I love that show. You got the bear from Jungle Book to do a show, but like
Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Oh my god, WB shows.
They were all from the same universe, right? Like WB did that a lot.
WB. What was the Animaniacs? Oh my god,
so good.
Animaniacs would it like baloney in my pants? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Do
Pinky
you
in the
remember
brain.
Freakazoid?
Pinky in the brain. It's
Pinky in the
Pinky in the
Brain.
brain. It's Pinky in.
Yeah.
Oh my
Do you
god.
remember
One is a genius, the
Freakazoid?
other's insane. Do I remember Freakazoid?
It's
I don't think
again
I do.
same network, same universe.
The WB
Yeah.
absolutely had some
I
like
feel like
Top Gun theme
I
songs.
was partially raised by the WB.
Oh,
I don't know.
100%. Yeah. No, absolutely. But I
Pretty
wasn't
sure.
allowed to watch the teen WB shows.
Sure.
Like there was the drama WB that happened after 7
Right.
p.m. Never watched a single one. Like Seventh Heaven and like all
Was
those
that on
shows.
WB?
Yeah, that's WB network, bro.
Yeah. Well, now
Yeah.
I'm thinking of CW, not WB. I would say like all the superhero shows like The Flash, Arrow.
That's way later. That's way later.
What channel was no, I know that was way later, but what was I know. That's what I just said.
He knows.
I said it's CW. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to go back in time right now. So what channel was Buffy the Vampire Slayer on? Like what was that on?
Was that wasn't FX, was it?
It's
What
WB
was that
though,
on?
was it?
Is it a WB? No, hold on. Well, what? Okay, hold on.
I doubt
What
it. If only there was a way
network
that we could confirm this.
was
Oh
Buffy
well.
on?
Moving
Hold
on.
Oh, we're done? It was WB.
Yeah,
Oh my
I nailed
lord.
it.
I can't believe it was WB.
I did
That's
a
probably
thing.
that's got to be their biggest hit, right?
Oh, for
Like
sure.
that's the one. Like that had a
Sarah Michelle
chokehold.
Gellar?
That had a chokehold
Oh my gosh.
on the women
Yeah.
of the 90s.
All right, tune into our new podcast, which is nerding out on the 90s. All right, I'll go for that
Facts.
show title actually.
Fact. Oh, also people are calling out this fidget spinner.
It's
These
a
are
real handle.
this is a real handle. It's made
Cooper's
by
custom
custom rod
handles.
handles. Real handles. Thank
Real
you.
handles. Thank
And the first thing that I noticed, like right off the bat, like we were talking about these. He sent us
Yep.
these just to like test out and make some content for. So you guys will see some
Mhm.
shorts. And we're gonna mess
Yep.
around with them some more. So they look really good. They're like these kind of standard. You can find these foam deals anywhere. It's nice foam. These are some of the smoothest handles.
Yeah.
Like you can't take this away from this guy. These things are
Yep.
butter. They are
They're
buttery.
smooth.
I'm getting so much satisfaction
Yeah.
just right now.
I
Just doing this.
want from him.
You want the 100?
A longer reel handle, and I would
Yeah.
also like the knobs to be flat.
You can
Like
ask
the
him what he's got.
oversized is good, but like there's just the bulky knob is.
But the more that I'm
bulbous knob,
the more that I'm using the bulbous knob, like the more I'm enjoying it. Like I
That's because
don't.
you're fidget spinning it.
I'm fidgeting like a maniac right now, and I'm not upset about it. Like
Yeah.
these are sweet. I need to
All
put
right.
these on a reel.
So I will say this: Chad Hoover did tell us he had a captain's meeting. And if you guys don't know Chad, Chad
He's a
likes
guy.
to talk. Chad likes to talk a lot. I was planning on this podcast going over anyways
By 2 hours.
We're gonna wait and see if he does text us. That said, there's plenty of stuff that we can actually talk about. We're prepping for this tournament right now. I've already started loading up a cart. We're talking to folks that are on our teams. I'm going to do a tackle warehouse order that is going to be filled up with Alabama.
I have the A rig boxes right here.
Is that the stuff we fished this weekend?
No.
Oh, you ordered more. I also put more in my cart because I want more.
Do you want to see the Kitex that I bought? Because they're sick.
Yeah, no, for sure. So we're going to talk about some of the stuff that we're planning on fishing, things that we've heard so far. If y'all are fishing down south, if you guys have any tips for us for November, honestly, it's just this. It's two northern guys that have no concept of what fishing down south is like, period. Start there.
Yes.
Second, in the late fall. Right. So we need to know really what it is that we should be prepared for. I did see some cool call outs early on. If you're prepping for a tournament, one of the best things you can do is just like look at videos of the people who fish in that area and like totally agree. That is something that we started out with. That's part of why we wanted to get Chad on here because he is there all the time. Huntsville, Alabama, home base. That's where KBF is stationed. So I do want to hear from him what's working. He mentioned a couple lures like that we could talk about later. We talked to him on the phone last week. He literally just texted me, Paul. Oh, like that's what he texted me. He goes logging in now. See, you know what, guys? This is why you tag people a bunch of times and you hammer them with texts. That's what I did. At least we'll get them on. So I do want to get into that. Let's start with some of the preparation stuff. So this is a tournament based in teams. Now this might be new even to tournament folks out there. Used to signing up, maybe it's you and a co-angler, you and a partner. We have teams of 4. So there are teams of 5. Sorry. So we have 4 people fishing with us. So Paul has 4 people on his team and him, and then I have 4 people on my team and me. And we're gonna go down. It's all kayak fishing. We're fishing Lake Gunnersville, Alabama. Again, lake we've never been on. We know it's a trophy lake. Like we know there is a very good potential that either of us breaks our PB. And I almost guarantee it won't be both because you know how this is. Like we're cursed. Like one of us is gonna have a good tourney and catch a PB, and the other one is gonna like
The way things are going, it's gonna
cry
be me
a
going
lot.
home alone, doing nothing.
You're gonna go home. Why would you go home alone? We're driving one truck down.
By the time this ends, you don't know.
Paul's just like leaves me there, and I'm like, all right, well that sucks. He's like, oh, you guys did well. Bye.
Load up all my stuff. I'm in another vehicle.
Load up all my stuff. I'm on a Greyhound bus. I will see you in
That's
3
exactly
to 7
what it is.
days.
I need to lose myself in a book. I'll see you in a month.
Just started rereading Tolkien.
I'm just gonna go. I'm going back through Game of Thrones. I'll see you in a month.
So hopefully that's not the case. There's a good chance that we could both hook into some PBs. We'll see how it goes, especially if we're throwing like some of the big bait stuff that I want to throw. So what I've heard so far, the biggest hype right now is the Alabama rig. It's the A rig. So that is one that we certainly plan on fishing. And Paul just mentioned he's got a little box there. We're going to unbox that. So we'll have some A rigs to take a look at. And then I've been loading up a cart because I've got some other ones that I've seen that I want to try. Some like different size variations, some with blades, some without blades. Alabama, as far as we know, is a 5-hook state. So we can have the fully rigged, like 5-wire, 5-hook setup, not just like all dummy rigs or a 3-wire. So we're going big. I mean, why wouldn't we? There you go. There's one right there. Oh, yeah, dude. That thing's rad.
I guess this
Flash
is the way
mob.
you want to see it. This is the
I think
flash
that was,
mob.
I think that was in my cart, so we'll have to discuss afterwards. Maybe I just get one anyways.
I got the flash mob, and then
what else do you get?
see.
Oh,
Sixth
yeah, I
Sense
looked at that
Divine.
one. Yeah,
It's a good looking rig, I won't lie.
Look at the HD swivel at the front of that. First of all, not all of these have a swivel attached to them. You have to do a swivel setup yourself. So I think that is really cool. When I see
So this one doesn't.
Picasso does that a lot. Yum does not, but they're an economic option for those A rigs. And the Sixth Sense does. The Sixth Sense has like the coolest looking one, I think.
I think
it's pretty gosh dang solid.
And I think with the A rig, I think one of the keys while we're talking A rigs is the hooks. Because most of the 1/16 or the 1/8 that you get are going to have a light wire hook. I got ones with a 3/0.
Oh, you went stout. So Yum, I think it's Yum. Yum makes one that's comes with the jigs. It comes with everything. It's got the rig, the jigs, and the plastics, all of it. And then all I would do is swap out one of the plastics, the center plastic on a 5-wire, and make it something slightly different. Just change it up. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it. Julie says she loves the Sixth Sense A rig, so there you go. Good news. Good to hear. Thought so. It's pretty affordable too. Like it's not insanely priced.
$15.
I did see that, but then it's cheap because most of these are like
what
20.
I'm saying. Yeah.
Did you see the G Crack?
Going rate.
G Crack has one for $35. It looks cool. It's got a long wire that expands, and they claim that there's a reason for that. I don't know.
It's more of an umbrella rig than an A rig. Yeah,
it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat though. Yeah. The Flash Mob comes in a bunch of different variations, Sly Fox, but yeah, it's a solid go-to. It's like $20. You can get it fully rigged. Like, dude, money. I love it. Yeah. So yeah, prep wise, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a tackle warehouse order, and I don't know if we're gonna film the actual ordering of that. We'll probably just punch it out, but we will have an unbox for sure. So there will be an unbox of that. I actually have an unbox that I want to do for you guys. I'm wearing a hat from a local store right now. It says Somerset Outdoors. This is like tiniest tackle store. They have like a good selection. They've got some classic baits. They've got some crazy baits. They've got they carry 6 cents, which is weird for how small the store is. Like I love it though. Oh my gosh. All right, Paul, talk to the people for a little bit while I get Chad on here.
I thought that was Chad's job. Is Chaz working on it?
Chaz is here to assist, but
Chaz is working on it. We're
talk
gonna let
about some
Chaz
of the
work
stuff
on
that
it.
you ordered. Take us through the A-rigs or something.
Well, let's go through the baits as we see them, and then we'll see where Chad is going to make some corrections. Right. So here's what I had. So we were gonna talk. One of the topics was top 5 lures. So when you're doing a tournament prep, let's say you're going somewhere, whether it's a body of water you've never been on, or whether it's a location you've never been to, like another state or another country or whatever. The first thing you want to do is, we were just talking about it, learn from somebody like a person who is trying to join right now, who has some experience in the area. But understand that you're going to potentially see a different strain of bass. And so we're going to be seeing the southern strain of bass, the Alabama strain that we do not see here in Michigan. Or if you're from Maine, like some of my folks are, or elsewhere up north, or even to the west in Texas, you might be seeing different strain of bass. So understand that. Second, every single lake, as you guys know, can be different, right? So every lake fishes differently. Lake St. Clair does not fish like my local pond. They're not the same thing, right? They have a totally different structure. I don't know what Chaz is doing.
Chaz is blocking his face because he's on the camera in case.
Oh,
Chad, what's up, my dude?
Man, what's going on, guys? I am sorry. I just finished the captain's meeting, and it's been like a bunch of people showed up after the captain's meeting. So instead of getting back up at 4:30 in the morning and doing it, I went ahead and knocked out basically a whole second captain's meeting for the 3 people that were late. So,
So
Nice.
send me 3 names. I'm gonna go call them, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
let them
Going
know
down.
what I think about
Done.
their ability to maintain a schedule. Like I'm just kidding.
and then I'm kind of disadvantaged. So I was having trouble navigating the philosophy, and then I realized the
We got
text that
Chaz.
actually goes directly to it if you have Discord already downloaded. So I sat there and read that PDF that's very masterfully put together, by the way. But on a mobile phone, you got to go back and forth from side to side. And
Brutal.
Yeah. All good. We're happy to have you because we
Hold on
definitely
just
need some tips.
yo,
You're
Are you
fired,
set?
is what he said.
yeah, give me a few minutes, and I'm gonna have to figure out how to get you a decal because the guys just took off with them. And then I'll yeah, give me just a few minutes and I'll get you figured out. All right. Sorry, guys.
Tell him
Yeah.
I'll send him a decal. It'll
Now I'm
say
gonna do it.
Ned
I'm gonna do
Rig
it for a fourth.
Nerds.
Yeah. Cool. So let's jump into it, fellas. What do y'all got going on? What
So
what you need from me? How's that sound?
well, let's start with the simple stuff, right? I mean, we can talk about what we should be planning on doing, but let's just say, for example, that you're talking to 2 northern folks who have never fished down south, and hypothetically, they have no idea what fishing down south is like in November. Can you give us a tip as far as what to expect with fishing conditions down there?
So fishing down south in November is like fishing up north in like late September, early October, if that makes sense.
So
It
great.
does.
Maybe even into middle October. Right now, we are progressing faster, colder than we have in like 5 years here. So we're either going to gotten really cold, and then it's going to be a frozen fest for the knucklehead, or it's going to warm back up, and it's going to be donkey fest. Chatterbaits have an arsenal of spinner baits that are both light for throwing shallow if they move up, or heavy for truly running those deep deals. Big shad are going to be the ticket because they're going to have eaten up a bunch of the smaller shad. So your gizzard shad, your big thread fins, things like that. You know, your savage gear wedge tails, your freaking bull shad, your glide baits, your stuff like that's going to do really well. Power shotting, basically drop shotting, but with bigger baits with light line.
I was going to ask that. What's light line? Is that 10 pound? Or is that 20 pound?
What's light for you?
10's light. 10's like super light. Guys that go lower than 10 pounds are like psycho. You know what I'm saying? They're like crazy.
Color me psycho.
Welcome to our world.
I know. I'm just playing.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
So basically 30-pound braid to a 20-pound leader or straight, 15 to 17-pound fluoro. Tie a drop loop, put a, 3 or 4 inch drop loop, put a weedless plastic on there, like a fluke or something like that, and put a, 3/4 to ounce weight on the bottom, throw it out there and drag it and shake it, and That's what I call power shotting.
Mm-hmm.
And then straight up, I'm just going to tell you, and if this was a teacher deal when you're a kid and they knock on the desk, multi-rigs, Alabama rigs, light wire Alabama rigs, your smaller compact baits are going to be a big deal. One thing I will tell you guys is Gene and I are actually both going to go do a live similar to this, but on like a non-weirdo platform that's not Discord, because this thing is crazy. This is for like the pros. We're for like the easy hit go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we're going to do like a lake breakdown and a lure walkthrough type thing, areas to focus on. We want everybody to be successful. The competition part is secondary in this whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We all want everybody to catch fish. We all want to be on big schools of fish. And, for example, one of the big YouTubers, one of the YouTubers around here that's big on catching big fish was catching 5 and 6 pound smallmouth. I'm not kidding you. Like 200 yards from me where I'm sitting right now.
Nice.
Friday. And he called me, but I was busy and I couldn't make it out there. And I was like, man, this is championship week. I got a bunch going on. No, I'm sorry. Friday. And I was like, dude, but he's catching them on live bait, but he's catching them out in the main river. And he's catching 5 and 6 pound smallmouth. So we're going to do a smallmouth breakdown. We're going to do a largemouth breakdown. We're going to do a lure breakdown. And we're going to do a lake breakdown.
I like it.
The cool thing about Wheeler and Gunnersville is we got multiple options based on the flow. We're also going to talk about that, what flows you're looking for, how to fish dam-controlled reservoirs, how to fish reservoirs that are dam-controlled once they get to winter pool where they're really acting more like a lake than a dam-controlled reservoir.
That's
all
what
that
I was
stuff.
going to ask you. That was one of my biggest questions because I know it's Tennessee River, right?
Yes.
And so when you're dealing with like, what is the flow like? And is like the center of the lake like a lake, or is the whole thing you're fighting current?
No, it's still like a lake. Okay. The flats and the backwaters are going to be pretty well drained by the time we get to the knucklehead. And then it's going to be, it's going to be the fish are going to be, they're going to have less water to be in.
Yeah.
The dams are going to be on. So we may have a flotilla at the dams.
Yeah.
Like we might have everybody on every team.
You just hit Jeff with a wet dream comment right there. You're like, what, flotilla at the dam? Where do I go?
Flotilla?
Which dam?
What are we going to name it? How about an armada? I love it.
Yeah. We might be out here saying, we're out here for another damn tournament. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, 100%.
But we're going to keep our finger on the pulse, and we're going to start putting out content pretty aggressively. Once the championships are over this weekend, I'm full court press knucklehead. Now, here's one thing I will tell you. Next year, I've already decided the knucklehead series will be the weekend before the trail series and the championship. Yeah. So that way, if you want to get more serious about KBF and jump in on the trail series and the challenge series, you can fish and qualify those, and you could treat the knucklehead event almost like pre-fishing.
Yeah.
So, and then the whole week is going to be fish camp, and we're going to move it back to Columbus Day weekend. So that way, that week, some people already kind of have a weekend off.
Yeah, and you're
down.
So
if you fish the knucklehead only, you go home, and then you can have Sunday and Monday to get back home. But if you're fishing both, then you basically already have one of those 4 days off.
That's sweet.
And we're just going to make that whole week Trail Series Championship, Challenge Series Championship, Knucklehead Week. And so it's going to be a little bit earlier in October, and we're going to consolidate it all together. You know what I'm saying? And
you're going to sleep for like the next 2 weeks after that.
No, I am, but I'm going to be in a deer stand and hunting.
Sleeping.
Because right now, exactly. So right now should be the time that I'm focused on hunting as soon as it starts getting cold like this. But instead, I'm out here freezing and handing out trophies and checks, and it's probably going to be even colder come the knucklehead thing. Now, that being said, don't get it twisted. Lake Gunnersville, Chickamauga, Nickajack, Wheeler, Wilson, all of these lakes can be absolute fire come winter, come fall. We're still going to be fall. It ain't going to be winter yet, you know? And it can be ignorant. You can go out with an Alabama rig and in 5 casts have 100 inches. You know, you can go out with a deep spinnerbait and get on a school of fish and never let it hit the bottom. Throw it out and let it flutter to the bottom and never hit the bottom.
Yeah.
And, you know, the unique thing about this format is it's a 5-person team and everybody's fishing for one fish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
It
saying?
takes one.
Yeah.
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 All
and
day to
that's
get
so
one.
when
I
we were
love that.
when we were talking about how our strategy, right? One, we got a lot of people coming down early. So what is the like? Are people going to be able to fish like Thursday and basically
Yeah.
pre-fish?
There's
Pre-fish
no
is
off
allowed.
limits. There's
Yep.
no off limits. You can get here a month
Cool.
early if you want to.
And
You
I want
come-
people to know that because we're coming down.
Our
We're
team's
going to drive down
asking,
Thursday,
yeah.
and we're using Friday as a little bit of practice. Go check out the ramps, and then our plan was for our team, at least Team Flanders. We have good communication going. We got a little strategizing going already. We're
Yeah.
thinking about, we know what guys have what kind of sonar. And so,
Yep.
we're going to try and spread our resources. And, obviously we're going to be in communication like, hey, let's see what's working. But we're also going to try and be really strategic about where we put people, like where they're launching, right? Because you've got a bunch of different areas that, you could launch at, and you got a lot of water that you could cover. And the way Jeff and I fish, what we'll end up doing is like, hey, Jeff, you need to go, you're going to try this. I'm going to try this. And whoever's successful, we're meeting in the middle.
Call it
right?
divide and conquer. That's
Exactly.
exactly what the idea behind this.
And that's what we're going to do here.
Learn. And because you're group fishing, if you go out Thursday and pre-fish a little bit and then pre-fish on Friday and you get dialed in on them, then everybody can default to the one thing, or you can stay divided and conquered so you got the best success.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And
100%.
so
That's going to be
that's what we're
team
looking
strategy. I think every team's going to strategize that way.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm going to try to do a StreamYard where I bring on like all the captains, maybe a week before, maybe a week and a half before the event, like halfway between now and when the event happens. I'm going to start blowing up social media with it, moving from here on out. I'm going to start talking smack about y'all's teams.
Good.
And,
constructive smack, obviously.
Yeah, 100%. Smack that's
Rest
ideally
in peace.
Oh,
to draw in more smack talking respectfully.
Well, and we've got some folks that are social media literate on here. So if you guys are all in this tournament, I've already tagged a couple of people and been like, yo, my team is stacked. Because I truly believe that. I'm like, when my team got set, every time I was like, dude, if I could have picked my guys, like I got my top 5. Like, we're good. So I'm very excited. So if you guys are on a team, tag me up. Let me know what team you want to beat the most. That's my one question. And if you say Stark, like, I don't know what to think about y'all. So you better look and see what teams are out there.
I just love your undue confidence.
Something else I'm going to tell you.
Undue. I know that I don't have to do any heavy lifting at all. My biggest lift of the whole weekend is going to be my kayak. Okay, like I do not have to do any work.
True, you are bringing the heavy boys. So,
my team is stacked.
Something else I'm going to tell you guys is that we are 100% going to put together a leaderboard for Thursday and Friday that goes along with the fan fish off. Yeah. And so tell your teams if they got buddies that didn't make it, that they can still get in on the fan fish off. They can come down and fish the fan fish off, and they can make one more 5-person team. But what I was going to say is we're going to put up a leaderboard that goes Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for big fish, and we're going to have some big fish juice to give away, and we're going to have some big fish, hopefully cash to give away. I gotta count my pennies after the championships because it's been a rough year with KBF, and then I still owe all you knuckleheads some money, and I gotta consolidate. I gotta figure all that out, and then I gotta figure out where I'm at, and then I'm probably gonna throw up some kind of big bonus or something for the biggest bass caught all 3 days because we want to see the numbers. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We want to see the fish. We don't want people to catch the biggest fish they've ever caught in their life on Thursday, but they got nowhere to post it and nowhere to go, hey, remember when I caught that biggest fish of the Knucklehead series?
Yeah.
And nobody saw it or cared.
The Knucklehead big bass is going to be a big deal.
I love that. All right. So I think there's a lot of good tips there. We'll definitely be communicating with our own teams, and hopefully the other captains are doing exactly the same. Love the divide and conquer aspect of it. I wanted to ask you just a couple of things about, what'd you say?
Top water.
We
didn't talk about topwater baits. Should we be looking at topwater? Because this is usually if you're talking about late September into early October here in Michigan, I know that like my ace in the hole on a day like is a buzz bait
or a walking bait.
You shouldn't be. How does that sound?
You should not be. Got it. Fair enough. All right. So let me ask you this about A-rigs, though, because as two people who fish in Michigan a lot, although A-rigs definitely work here, it's certainly not our go-to.
No.
So if we're cracking into these bad boys, what types of rigs should we be looking for? What do you see as like the best options? Because our teams are buying these up too right now. So that's why I'm asking.
Hold on a second. Let me say something real quick. Can you guys still see me?
Yep, we got you.
And now I have your beard. It looks great.
All right, cool. Can you guys see this?
Yes.
Hey. Yep, a flashy boy. Got it.
So basically, this is a 4-wire with the center bait, right?
Yep.
Okay. And the flasher's halfway down.
Yep.
And then you're going to run your little bit bigger weight on the center wire, right? The center wire here, right? Right there.
Yep.
And then you're going to run a little bit smaller baits. I actually throw this with only weight on the center wire. And the other jig heads are basically like either straight tail flukes, small minnows, or paddle tails with no weight, just a weedless hook.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then that way I'm basically fishing it like an oversized spinnerbait.
Got it.
Way it falls slow. When you move it, it moves. It doesn't hang up as bad. And again, I'm going to cover all of this in that walkthrough video. And yeah. So to kind of answer your question about the buzz bait, this is a little trick I like to use here this time of year. You guys ever seen this thing? It's called a gurgler.
Yep.
Okay.
So basically like a buzz bait that you can reel a little bit slower and it churns up water. The skirt and the head are a little closer to the bait and it articulates. So you can actually, if they blow up at it and miss it, you can drop it down and slow reel it below the surface. So that's made by Yozuri. It's called the gurgler. That thing, when they swirl at the buzz bait but don't take it, go to that or a Colorado blade spinnerbait and you'll wreck them. And that is stuff that's like, so I tell people all the time, like, you want to see what I'm throwing? It's whatever's in the back door of the back of my truck, kind of right there. And then, and then again, you know, rather than like thinking I'm blowing smoke up your skirt and trying to throw you off, I'm going to walk over here to the passenger side of my truck. I've got 3 rods or 4 rods in the seat.
He's playing checkers. He wasn't late for a captain's meeting. He was tying all these up so he could BS us to the 10th degree.
I got the other ones in my rod box, but these are the ones that I'm like 100% nonstop throwing right now.
Yeah.
And that right there.
Yep.
Awesome.
That's
planned on it.
3/4 ounce spinnerbait, but that's a river spinnerbait because I want it to be able to reel it a little faster. I'm throwing that. And then if you're not throwing this, if you don't have one of these or 2 of these tied on, when you get here, hold on. You
Fluky
were wrong.
boy.
Fluke?
Not just any fluke though. The Yamamoto D-Shad, because it's basically a Cinco in the shape of a fluke. So it falls faster. It's got a little more action. And it's salty. So it tastes. It's got flavor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the colder the water gets, the more heightened a fish's sense of smell and taste is, right?
Yeah.
So water gets denser, those molecules get compressed, and it's easier for them to taste stuff. And it because it doesn't normally disperse as much like it does in warm water. So by the time they get to it in warm water, they've already smelled it for, 5 or 6 inches to a foot and a half. But in cold water, as soon as they put it in their mouth, if they taste it, you're going to get that extra bump, or you're going to get that extra, 3 to 14 seconds to set the hook. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a donkey rig, which is 2 flukes.
2 flukes.
I don't do the deal with the swivel. I do the deal where I tie the Albright knot like I tie on my channel on how to tie braid to leader. And I leave the tag in 6 to 8 inches long, and I leave the main line longer. And then what I'll do is I'll put a keel weight hook on the one fluke, or I'll put a lead nail in it or a tungsten nail in it. So it's the heaviest one and it brings the other one down, and the other one behind it's like a trailer. Can't tell you how many times I hook one fish, I'm reeling it in, and that fish that follows hits that second one.
Yeah, that second fish, I've always wanted to catch 2 fish on one rig, and I've always been like, I've had a ton of opportunities where that second fish is there, and I'm like, if only I had one more hook.
They just roll on in, yeah.
I'm telling you right now, 99.999% of the time, the second fish is 2 to 3.5 inches longer than the first one.
Yeah, because the other one's just faster, and they jump on it. Jeff and I have seen that. Jeff, how many? It's what we talk about.
1,000 times, million,
a bunch of times with the smaller bait. The smaller baits are great, but a lot of times if that smaller fish is faster, and a lot of times they are,
you get
they get after that smaller bait.
The smaller fish are also usually up higher in the water column, and you got to get down below them so that faster bait gets hit first, and they go up. But then that big fish sees them, and it follows it up and gets the other one. So
good call.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about all of that when we do our walkthrough, literally starting next week. And I'm going to talk about the knuckleheads. Hey, knuckleheads, if you're coming down here to fish, or if you're just wanting to learn more about fall and winter fishing, here's 2 great rigs.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be posting content every day from now to the event. Just
love it. Fun, man.
Just beating the drum.
We need it. Now we did have Rockablade's $5 super chat. Thank you, brother.
Cheers,
on my
bro.
team. He says, "Hi, diddly ho," because Team Flanders. He says, "Is it going to be the best 5 fish for the team, or each individual team member's best fish?"
Each individual team member's best fish.
Oh,
that's what I love about it.
So I do have to do something. All right, fine.
If one team member goes out and smashes them, and their other 4 knuckleheads don't catch anything, you're just going to be standing there knowing you could have won it all by yourself, but you're going to lose.
Woof. Yeah. All right, good to know. Rock, great call.
It's the best fish from each team member.
Love it. Perfect. So my 27-incher.
Well, if you smoke a 27, quit for the day and go help everybody else.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Like,
and then
I'm going to be everybody's caddy if I catch.
It was a 2-parter though. It was a 2-part question. He says, "Is the river between the 2 lakes part of? Is it within limits?"
Everything between the dam that separates Nickajack and Gunnersville, and the dam that separates Wheeler and Wilson, is in bounds. In other words, 100% of Lake Gunnersville and 100% of Lake Wheeler are in bounds.
You got a cup of water. If it's within bounds in Wheeler or Gunnersville, you can fish it.
Put an Alabama rig in that cup. You're good.
Alabama rig in that cup. Frog on top.
Dude, I'm going to tell you something. It is not uncommon to have a warming trend where the shallowest water is the warmest and the fish move up shallow, and you're throwing one of those small Alabama rigs shallow, almost like a spinnerbait, and wrecking them. Getting on the edges of grass lines, because the grass will started to die off, and it's basically just below the surface, and throwing an Alabama rig or a chatterbait right down the middle of that. And I'm going to tell you something else. I will put a chatterbait on that middle wire and then put 4 flukes on it, and it's a dancing. It's called the Alabama jig, baby. That sunger, that chatterbait shakes it, and it makes all of those other baits come to life, and that shit is deadly.
Oh my god!
What size hooks are you putting on your Alabama rig? Just as in the middle of the range. Like, are you going 1/8 is like the middle range?
I'm going 2 or 3/0. Extra wide gap.
Yeah.
Grip pin hook from Mustad. That way the bait doesn't get pulled off of it, so you have to take it off to re-rig it.
You want to spin it on, or at least get it where it's holding tight.
And then that little pin holds the bait on.
Yes.
And the other thing you do is you can put minnows, MOMINNOZ from Z-Man on there.
Yep.
And they'll never come off, and you don't have to re-rig them, and you just can't put them in a box or anything else because they'll melt everything in
it. So I got a lot of those minnows. So I would, that was actually one of my target. That and the Kai.
In fact, one of my go-to tricks is to put the small minnows on the lures in the front and put a bigger chatterbait on the back, and it looks like the chatterbait's chasing those little minnows. So the bass thinks that bait is distracted and goes up and eats it.
That's the most absurd rig that I
think you just need to do like an A-rig seminar, because I'm ready to I'm ready to pay in.
And we're gonna do that stuff at the event too. Like, even after the event, everybody's gonna sit down and do like a seminar on Sunday morning, like we talked about, up until about noon, on what we caught them on, how we caught them. That way, that's kind of a group growth program. Everybody's going to get better for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. What colors of plastic? So I know you mentioned shad, like gizzard shad. So I'm assuming that's for anything swimming.
Shad, white flash, albino. And then honestly, if you get right over the grass and it's the right deal and there's been rain, you can go green pumpkin even on your shad looking baits. and it'll just stick out like a sore thumb, and they'll eat it. So you're going the opposite of white. You're going dark, and it works.
Yeah.
So.
What about your flipping baits? Because I know, are we going to see a lot of like dying grass and dying weeds that are we going to be flipping that?
You should be, and you should be flipping it. You should be slow falling plastics over it, almost weightless or very lightweight to land on it and pull it off the edge.
Yes.
Yeah, you should be power shotting it like I talked about before.
Yeah.
And man, I'll tell you something else. If it stays like it's staying now, this entire thing could be won on lipless cranks. Entire thing.
Oh,
that's what I was going to ask about, because that's kind of when I was watching some videos. I swear to God, every top 5 list had a lipless on it, but I haven't heard a lot of people talking about it. And
if we're in the 55-degree range in water temp, the lipless crank will reign supreme. Yeah. Right now we're at 71, 72. So got a long ways to go, but we could get there. Yeah. But if we get to the low 60s and we're trending to the high 50s, you better believe your boy will have like 3 different. I'll have a lightweight quarter ounce. I'll have a heavy half ounce, and I have a heavy half ounce in another color. One of them will be sexy shad, and one of them will be gold with a black back.
Yep. I love it. Yeah, and it just depends on how deep of water you're finding them, whether you're yo-yoing it or whether you're burning it.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, the lighter bait, the smaller bait, is the yo-yo bait. The other one is your turn and burn baits.
Really? And you're just letting it kind of fall?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yep. Rip stop till it hits the bottom, and then yo-yo it.
Yep.
That's so I need 14 rods.
Jeff, if it does turn out to be, you guys, if it does turn out to be lipless, I might get one fish. I might help you out with one. I can do.
Paul has all the confidence for his team, but none for himself.
None for
and he's required for his team.
I've been running on a dry spell like you would not believe for the last month. It's so bad, man. I need it. Dude, I need a turnaround day.
You're gonna have a turnaround day.
The idea is that you get down here and get a little bit of pre-fishing in.
We're gonna try.
Up, and then go out there and jack them up. Just got to remember, you are coming to the land of giants.
We know it, and we're fingers crossed, man. We want to get that PB. We both do for sure. You had me at glide baits. I
was about to say same here.
Loving the glide baits, and I plan on throwing something.
If we get the right amount of more cold, which I'm not rooting for because it's harder for everybody, but if we get the right amount, if you're one of those big swim bait aficionados or glide bait people, you could go to the rock bluffs running along the causeways, and you could be the hero because
So is that like a steep rock drop where you basically have no grass? What is that?
It's basically just rocks that reinforce the causeways so that they don't get eroded from wave action. And they might be 5-6 feet off, and then it'll be 50 yards before it gets any deeper than that. So it's basically like a flat, and because those rocks hold heat in the sun, you'll want to fish the sunny rocks with a glide bait.
These are like the spots, Paul, that we see all our southern YouTube fishing friends fishing. And we're just like, man, those look like really cool places to fish that I don't have anywhere around me. I would love to have spots like that.
And last but not least, if we get into really cold water, if we're in those mid 50s and we're sustained there and overnight cold, lows are in the 30s and it's not getting up until the 50s in the middle of the day, you could literally get your arm broke with a jerk bait. I'm talking
now you're preaching our language, and that's where I kind of didn't think we would get to that point, but I don't know the water temp. I have been seeing folks who are down there right now fishing tournaments, and it does look like they are colder than they probably expected to be right now. But that doesn't mean much, in a month.
But they're also from the south like me, and they're wearing hoodies and shit like it's Antarctica.
It's I don't know how really cold that is, man.
It's 62 degrees right now. Look, it's 62 degrees. Okay?
Yeah, I'm in shorts now. Got it.
Shorts right now, straight up.
Yeah, there we go.
People are showing up to this thing like Eskimos at the captain's meeting. There was people who look like they're coming from Antarctica. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
the full parka look. I love that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I picked up a couple extra jerk baits specifically for this tournament. I was like, you know what? This will probably work.
Jerk bait it always does well though. Any 60 and below. If it's once 60 hits, I got no problem grabbing a jerk bait. It's just how long I gotta wait on the twitch.
Well,
right?
How
long is the pause?
Megabass 110. You almost can't go wrong with it. Strike King, even some old Cordell's and Devil Horses, you crush them. So
best hooks in the game on those frickin' Megabass 110s. Oh my god.
Oh, they're insane.
They do put the best on there. All right, what else? Chad, we could probably let you go. Jeff, what else do we have for Chad? What do we
Any
got
last second tips? Throw us your biggest tip, and then we'll talk to our chat.
Okay. Tune in to my socials and Gene Fluke Master socials for the next 2.5 weeks, because we're going to be literally, you know, that emoji with the green vomit coming out of his mouth. We're going to be vomiting intel on these fisheries. So,
all right, I'm here for the puke.
We will do that.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, fellas, appreciate you, man.
It. I got one more knucklehead over here waiting me to do a late captain's meeting.
I know. We're gonna let you get back to it.
Sorry, I'm late. Appreciate you guys, and I'll be in touch right after the championships Monday to talk strategy for this content distribution, the smack talking stuff, and just kind of the way forward for here through to the event.
Awesome. Love it, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man.
All right. Thanks, man. We'll see you
later. Sorry about that, dude.
Sorry about that, dude. Anyways, awesome. Okay, so lots of tips there from Chad, who's running like
I'm bringing the poop baits.
I would have been like, for sure, you're too late for the captain's meeting. Like, too bad. But all right, I digest. Poop baits. I was gonna say it, and I was like, I know we got them for a short amount of time, but when we started talking about slow falls, playing,
I think the poop baits got a place to play.
I was like, man, I'm gonna get 4 more bags of Yamanukis.
Well, I need the Yamatanukis,
dude.
I don't have missile, any. I need them, and I think the heavy
baits
poop
Bomba, dude, is not bad. It's not bad.
You know what else though? If you ran out, or you didn't have them, or you couldn't get them, I think a tube would just.
You will be the most Midwest dude in Alabama.
I will.
You're gonna throw a tube. I love it.
They're all like, "Well, I got this," and I'm like, "You know what I got?" Have you ever heard of
all right, hang on.
Have you ever heard of a tube?
Chat. Do you guys want to know the most Midwest thing I learned about Paul when we first started fishing together? We went by one of my buddy's place. We fished a super clear water lake. We were having like no fun until I started catching everything on the copper truce, right? Because it's chartreuse is the way it goes. Yeah. Paul refused to switch. He was like,
"Never gonna happen."
He was being stubborn, Paul. So you know what he does? He takes a green pumpkin flipping jig, and he takes a white tube, and he threads the tube onto a flipping jig. And I was like, yo, that is the most Midwest fishing thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. And I think he caught a fish on it. I'm pretty sure he caught a fish on it. Well, would not be surprised. You know what I'm going to win this tournament on? And I said win. Chartreuse. I'm bringing Ned rigs only. I'm bringing 6 medium to medium heavy spinning sticks. Only your team only is spinning upset. Rigs. My team is already upset.
So B Dooley said, "Do I want some Patriot jerk baits?" What is a Patriot jerk bait? Am I supposed to know what that is?
Julie Rousseau said the Provoke, pretty solid. You get like $14. I'm already looking at Megabass. I'm like, I'm almost there. I'm getting that Megabass 110.
That was my call out with those baits. Like as much, and I'm a big. I like 6 Cents. They make great baits. They make a lot of quality. But for me, that was one. That's one of my points of 6 Cents. You're not getting like a value. Like the prices are elevated. Now, that's not for all of them. One of the ones where you're kind of up getting upcharged, you're paying up, is actually the jerk baits, and they're great. Like I like them. Still have some. Like they're good, but they are more expensive. You could go get a 13 fishing. You could go get a Megabass, like you said, the Vision 110.
Yeah.
You could go get the Spros, which are I like the Spros a lot. That's like one of my the paint jobs, and those are super great. So
they're all in that price range.
They're all in that $14 to $16 range.
What's Berkeley's? The Stunna. The Stunna is also. I think
the way
it's
it dropped.
Price.
I think that's actually like $12, $13 now. So it's more in like the.
I just
closer to the value. That's closer to value.
Gold shiner.
Yeah. So
Megabass Vision 110 though, absolutely phenomenal jerk bait.
And it's hard to not. It really is that good.
So if we let's do this. Let's run through the baits that he was suggesting here. Just get some ideas. He did not suggest, but I am throwing down as well poop baits. So we're gonna be.
I have flipping baits. I think that's a flipping bait to me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I put it up
for
there.
Sure. I'm thinking that weightless plastics, anything with claws on it.
Big worms.
I'm going for that. Big
It just
worms is on my
depends on
mind.
whether you're doing like a ledge or whether you're doing like,
Right.
it's a big drop or whether it's just the grass and you're going down a couple feet.
For
Not
power shotting, he just talked about, throwing the power shot. I just picked up the Robo Worm Missile Baits
Sure.
combo.
Yep.
The Magic Worm. Have you seen that?
I have, yeah. I
Pretty
also think
solid
they'll
finesse
like
worm.
chompers flipping baits. They have those really
Oh, yeah.
long, those
Yeah,
really long
yeah.
tails. I think the
Well, you just picked up the Beast Coast Marauders.
the javelin worms,
Yeah.
like that, I think is perfect. Like a
Yeah.
6-inch, 4-inch worm. Like that's, I think, a perfect power shot in my opinion. It's
Oh, yeah,
finessey
yeah.
for that area, right?
So
And if you're running a 1/2 ounce, I think it fits the bill perfectly.
I also have a 6-inch finesse worm that's Copper Truce, and it's a Z-Man Strike King combo. Kind of like how they did the baby Z2. It's a little baby jerkbait that's
Okay.
Z-Man Elaztec, but it's a combo deal with Strike King.
Interesting.
Like a co-brand or a whatever. Collab, if you
Yeah.
will. And then they did a worm as well, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, so anyways, regardless, let's run through these baits here real quick. I want to get some ideas. We're gonna do an order for you guys. And
Yeah,
we're
where
gonna
do we have gaps? Where are the gaps?
we don't have gaps in chatterbaits. I can tell you that much right now. We both have about infinite chatterbaits, so that's not happening. Spinner baits, same thing. I think
maybe
we have
weight wise though. How many?
I could go for some more halves and
A
3/4
couple
ounce.
larges, I think. I think
Yeah.
more than I think the 3/4 ounce is the only gap.
Yeah, I would say 1/2 to 3/4. You're gonna want to have equal numbers of Colorado and Willow.
All my
Colorado
spinner baits
blades.
are 3/8 or a 1/2 ounce, so it's 3/4 for me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what are you running? You're running 3/8 all day.
I run 3/8 most of the time, but I do have plenty of 1/2 ounces, so it's going to be.
I think it's just the 3/4, and you gotta. Yeah, that's the one.
So we're going to be doing that, and then you jump to the next one, glide baits. Like we do
think
we have a decent amount. We certainly don't have a ton. I might pick up,
but I don't think you need a
1 or 2
lot.
more.
Yeah, I think. I don't think you need anything for.
I want to have some in more of the gizzard shad colors because a lot of mine are bluegill. Like a lot of mine are bluegill, which it's not that it won't work. I believe it will work. But I would like some more shad colors. I would say just to have some natty options, maybe even like gold shiner or something.
Should we hit up Debo?
We could. Do you want to try and win on a Debo or a brown bait bait?
I think so.
I mean, Brennan Brown's in here right now. Hey, Brennan Brown, you want to make us a sick?
Brennan Brown just said y'all don't
winning...
need any more. Hey, Brennan, we actually just fished all your stuff this week.
Hey, Brennan, can you guess which one of us caught on every single one of the glide baits that you sent? Not the crazy wake bait and not the one that Paul broke. I mean, his kids broke. But we fished the glide baits at least that you sent us. One of us too. Let's do this. Chaz.
I just told everybody.
Why'd you tell everybody?
How do you not remember?
I don't remember. Did you say that?
I literally explained where my mental status is at.
Oh, who was listening to that anyways?
Everyone.
All right, so I caught
except
on
for
all
you.
of them. Thanks for ruining everything.
What are you talking about? You set yourself up for failure.
You're literally the worst.
Thanks, Paul. I did a horrible job.
I'm putting a hole in your boat on the way down. All right. So I did catch on all your glides, and it was awesome. That little one that I just posted about the littler one that we fish. Dude, that thing I caught multiples on that. That was a sick glide bait. Loved it. The lick we fished was unfortunately Pike City, USA. I caught 2 bass. The rest of the day, everything was pike. All pike. But one of those bass was decent. One was decent.
Yeah, and I'm lumping in with those big swims or big glides. I'm lumping in swims in there too, or swim baits in there too. So mag draft, that type of deal like that. I think honestly, I think that the setup with that Miyagi swimmer, I think is with an underspin.
I think it'd be
great.
If
we're in 60-degree water, I think that's an absolute that is going to hammer.
For sure. For whatever reason, I don't have a lot of gizzard shad and shad.
Well, we don't because we don't have that here.
We don't
have that here. So
it's not that
we do have
they don't work.
There's
here.
only a couple lakes. No, there's only a couple lakes that have gizzard shad, and it's like St. Clair, Houghton, like huge lakes. Like we just don't. That's not a prominent.
Everybody's got bluegill baits. I mean, it's a go-to. You're going to use shiner baits.
We have minnows and shiners is what we have, and so we do get shad. We do. That's the That's the main.
We've caught them.
That's the main bait for the big lakes that are around here. We don't get gizzards. It's just not part of this ecosystem. Now, that doesn't mean it doesn't work. They do, but that's just not what we have. So when you see silver, it's usually minnow or shad, and that's both of those are fine. We get almost no goldens. We get you could count on one hand the number of goldens that you've seen in your life.
Oh, yeah, but
none.
I mean, gold.
But we're mostly
gobies,
perch, bluegill. Like that's going to be your bigger forage in any lake you go to around here.
Yeah, and again, you could throw rainbow trout patterns here. I mean,
further north. I mean, anywhere. Like the fish aren't like, well, I don't get that bait.
Excuse me.
Like they don't.
Is that an
care.
invasive species?
Like, and we fish gizzard shad. Like Tennessee shad. There's just not a lot of stuff around here like that.
No.
So I don't buy Tennessee shad. I just don't.
No.
Like we don't. That's just.
But I'm probably going to pick up at least a pack for this trip.
Sure. Yeah.
Same with gizzard shad. At least one, just for the A rigs.
Well, we do have
not
some.
really for anything else.
So that's what so Jeff, what I bought.
Yeah. Well, we'll confer on this before we do another order. I just kind of wanted to go through our list and get to the cues at the end so we could do a draw for some folks. So prize giveaway. Yeah, Kitech, fantastic. The ribbed or smooth?
Easy shiner. Smooth. So that's the color. Yeah. So that's your Tennessee shad right there. And then or that's your gizzard shad. And then here's your Tennessee. There's no blue, but it's the same thing, right? So that I would not buy this normally. Like that's a reverse minnow. Same. It looks weird, right? This is that light hitch. We just don't go with that color scheme very often.
It's just weird for us.
It's not.
I do have. Speaking of hitch colors, I do have the trash fish that I still haven't got on that I will probably throw over there. So we they got the 6-inch. I think.
So here's what I grabbed for us. So this is a 1/16 3/0 with a screw. So you're not losing any of those baits. And you can catch any fish in the lake. And then I did the same thing. I got some ball heads in 1/8 with a screw.
Nice.
Now those are 3/0 again. So these are big. You're sticking a big fish with these. Now that's the difference between those two things are the difference between like a regular swim bait hook and something that you would put on an Alabama rig, right? That's the 3/0, potentially the short shank, and then having some sort of hook keeper. Those primarily are making up what you're looking for in an Alabama rig hook.
Yeah, I think the A rig is going to be hopefully revolutionary for us.
That's what I'm doing. Like I plan on that is where I'm going to start. Yeah, that's where I'm going to start. And honestly, I'll have it the whole time just because it's easy. And then if we find out it's spinner baits, great. I mean, like I'm okay with.
I'm going to have literally all of those rigged though. Like I will have a chatterbait and a spinnerbait rod. I will have a power shot set up, which would be like a medium heavy spinning.
Mm-hmm.
I will have a flipping setup, which will have a turd on it for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll have an A rig set up. That's going to happen. And I'm going to have my glide set up. So like
now the glides I probably won't start with. Like that'll be something that I'm going to start with swim baits. I think you have a much better chance with a swim bait. It just depends on water temperature. Like when we get down there, if it's in the 60s, that'll be it. But that's a 10-degree difference, a 12-degree difference than what they're seeing now. And to think that it would go below 60, it's not even a month. It's like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So, anything's possible. And they're going through a cold snap. So does that last? That's what happened here. It's possible. We got a cold snap super early and it wrecked the water.
Yeah.
Like those fish got shocked. This is just my opinion. But like almost a month and a half ago, August, those fish got shocked by that cold water and all that rain and wind that came in here. And I think it flipped the lakes right after that. And I think they flipped like a month earlier than they normally would. And I think it set those fish down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing about the glides though, too, is like you can fish them any speed you want. So like I can just speed them up. So I still feel really confident about that. If it's 65 and below, and like it'll work regardless, but like if it's 65 and below, it's like a no-brainer for me.
That's what I'm saying. Like you have to be sniffing that 50-degree, 60-degree water, and we may not. And it'll work. Like
it'll still work. But
the
like
difference
I would
between saying something, in my opinion, the difference between saying something will work and it's the best bait for the conditions, like those are two
for a giant fish. Yeah, I feel pretty good about it. Like that in the mag draft. I mean, I will also have the swim baits out. I mean, it's that swim bait rod is just gonna like swap those things out. And I don't care what anybody says about using a snap on there. Oh my gosh. Did you see
Who's mad about a snap? I saw one.
folks in the comments about the mag draft picture that I posted?
I saw one comment on there.
I saw
Someone's
more
talking
than
about it
one.
here?
No, not here. But I'm
Oh.
just saying, like, in relation to that Instagram post, I was like, oh, okay, people don't like when you use the snap. Like, who cares? Wait till they
depends.
hear that.
I don't
Wait
like
till they
using
hear
the
that.
snap on a crankbait. I think that's insane. I think you're ruining the action of that
wasn't
bait.
doing that.
No, I know. That's what, like, I think that is a that's a good comment. But yeah,
On a
for a
bait that
big
it
bait
has
like that,
no
I don't think
difference.
that matters.
There's no discernible change in action. Like
No,
100%.
I
It's
don't
like
think
time
so.
loop knot.
I don't think so.
Wait till they find out where like I've used an improved clinch knot for a long time. Oh no.
Exactly. Again, Brennan Brown, like there are people that will throw a jerk bait in the middle of summer and catch a fish. It's not that you can't, and it's like it's a
Yeah.
confidence bait for you. 100%. I think like if you take somebody out of their element and you put them
Yeah.
down, somewhere new, to say that like it's the best, like the best thing to do is throw something that's maybe
Mhm.
like not an ideal situation or a secondary situation. It's not
Yeah.
that it's not on the menu. It's on the menu for sure. But like if I'm going to make a recommendation to someone on my team, I'm going to be like, hey, maybe start with a swim bait and see if they're following big. And then yeah, if you need to slow down, then go with a glide. That's probably my recommendation for
Yeah.
somebody that's not fished a lake before. I'm not gonna, and if glide baits are if it's Brendan Brown and like all you do is fish glides, I'm not gonna tell you to not fish glides for sure. Like 100%. There's no doubt about it.
So the other positive I would say that came out of this is talking about pre-fishing, right? So anybody on our teams, and we'll be discussing this in Discord a lot more as well. And anybody who is coming down for like the fan fish off, all that stuff obviously is on those days. But anybody in the tournament, like we get to go down and fish. So you and I are going down on Thursday as early as we can, right? Like we want to get there, set up camp, all that stuff, and then be out Friday morning.
Well, we have a captain's meeting right when we get there, so we're doing all that.
Well, yeah, like we got to get there by the captain's meeting, which is 6 p.m.
6 o'clock.
Eastern. Yeah, or Central Time. So yeah, we'll be there for that, and then the next day, yeah, we're going fishing. Like, yeah. I mean, if
twice,
you want to be,
I'm gonna take a nice long break in the middle of the day, and then and honestly, that night is strategy, right? We're gonna during that day, we're gonna make sure we know the drive down. Honestly, I'm planning on doing all my strategizing, so gonna figure out where I want people at which launches based on how far they have to paddle or pedal or use their motor, right?
Depending on what type of vehicle you have.
Yep, and I gotta find out, and we gotta find out. I also got to do a little strategizing around rules, right? I got to make sure we know what the rules are, right? Like we just talked about it. You got to understand the format. It's best fish, not total. It's everyone's got to get one. Everyone's looking for one. So that does change things. That changed things significantly.
I mean, the details are going to go out coming up to the event, and then Thursday when we have our captain's meeting, we can finalize it. And then most of our folks are going to be there at the campground either by that point or by Friday. And then we plan on meeting up with our own teams. So I mean, I think on the way down, starting to work on strategy, always good. I'm here to have fun at the end of the day. Like I have no doubt it's going to be a lot of fun. And being that we're all restricted to our best fish, it's just, that's why I want to swing with a big bait. That's why I want to swing the A-rig, the glide bait, the swim bait. I want to get a fish I feel good about, and I want to stay in communication with my team all day long and like make sure that everybody is having fun, is hydrated and snacking it up, and hopefully just like
my strategy
breaking
is
some rods.
a little bit different. Like mine is like get a good fish on the board.
Yeah.
Just a fish. Like a good fish. I'm not worried about initially catching a monster. I think if I can get 19 inches on the board, I want to do that.
I'm not ignoring the smaller fish, but I'm saying
I mean, but the strategies are different. Like I would be like, let's power shot
fish.
Let's power shot and get a good fish. Like get me a topwater fish. Get me, a lipless if it's that cold, right? Or a jerkbait fish. But like I'm gonna be fishing to get one decent fish, and then I will switch and probably start home run swinging. That will be my personal strategy.
I'm home run swinging all day, y'all, and I will catch a fish, and it's going to be phenomenal. I'm going to have a blast doing it. And then I'm gonna be my team's caddy. I don't care. I will ride
100%.
around wherever my
After
team
that,
is.
yeah, I will go to wherever you got. If I catch a fish where
I will
feel
tow
like
you spot to spot.
if
team.
I catch 20 plus,
Yeah.
I will then be well, you can't, that's illegal. So that's why I got another rules. I will be going to whoever the person that's either struggling or wants help or wants people around them, I'll be going to find you and I'll be like, look, let's get you on a fish, right? Like you can use my forward facing sonar. I'll be like literally helping you out, trying to figure out what colors are going to work.
Is that legal?
100%. Why would it not be?
Prove it.
Okay. Use my sonar, talk with my team. That's legal.
Yep, not allowed.
Okay.
Your sonar,
not on your team.
Forward-facing sonar is not allowed.
And I'm kind of like, in general, I'm not like a big tournament fisherman, which is kind of like, we weren't sure if we're going to do this or not.
Oh, I so didn't want to do this at all.
What it comes down to for me though is like our team, right? Like my team wants to win. We do have tournament anglers on my team, and I want them to have the best experience. So like, will I be tournament guy for a day or 2 days? Like, yeah, I could do that.
I hope so. You're already signed up. We're 5 months into this.
No, I meant like mentally. Mentally, can I go there instead of being like, hey, look, I'm just here to have fun, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna be serious about catching a big fish.
Well, yeah, you can do both. Surprisingly enough, you can have fun, catch big.
But there is a difference in approach. Like if you're just like, oh, I'm here to have fun, boy, and you don't take it seriously, and you don't prepare yourself, and you don't bring all your shit, and you don't make sure that you're ready to have a day.
I hope you're bringing all your shit. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like it's very easy to be like, hey, I'm not going to talk to anybody. I'm not going to strategize. I'm not going to make sure everybody has their stuff. You could do that. I'm not going to do that.
Oh yeah,
that's all I'm saying. Yeah.
All right. Well, your team isn't the only team with tournament players on it, so I mean, just saying.
I know everyone should be doing that. I guess that's my point.
You just, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see
I
how it
don't
goes.
know either.
Chaz, can they hear you? You should make it so they can hear you. Okay, fine. Chaz is talking to me, people. Hang on.
A forfeit?
A forfeit?
Why would anyone set up a forfeit?
What are you talking about? Has to do something.
That's not called a forfeit.
That's a bet.
That's
a bet. What are we talking? What is a forfeit?
I'm not setting up a forfeit. I don't know what that means.
Chaz, is that like a UK thing, Canadian thing, or where are you getting that from? What is a forfeit? It's a gaming thing. Okay, I got it. Anyways, what's the bet between us, Paul? What do you want to do?
I don't know. I don't want to do a bet. What are we doing?
Team Flanders has been mustache flapping a lot on Discord. Team Flanders is going to do a lot of mustache flapping on the way down. They're going to flap on Friday and they're going to flap on Saturday.
That's
literally what that team is all about.
There's literally no other way to be.
If this mustache ain't flapping, then what are we even doing?
I should probably just like not cut it at all. Like just let it go wild for the next
for sure you should.
All right. I will let mine go wild. How about this?
Okay.
If my team loses, I will completely shave it off.
Ooh, do I have to shave?
I have not been clean shaven in the last time was when I accidentally Icarus went too close to the sun and I went too high on my trimming and I had to shave it off because it was horrible. So that was about a year ago. My
children have never seen my face without beard.
Yeah.
Never.
Same.
Over 10 years.
Same.
So that's not the same, and I'm not putting that on the line.
That's fine. Nope. I'm telling you what I'm putting on the line. I will.
And Ned Stark wouldn't put that on the line either because winter is coming.
Well, hold on. Let's think about this for a minute. I'm going with my team theme, and I'm going to cut off my mustache. I think you should cut off your head, just like
that's fair. Yeah, that's that's great. I love that. I will behead myself. You guys, the stakes could not get higher.
It could not be higher
because a person will be unalived at said event.
Seems fair. It just seems fair.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn that down.
Either that, or like
bet.
King Stark, you have to kill a dog. It has to be a huge dog too.
What the frick, dude?
It's what he does. What he does.
No.
Oh, should dye his beard flesh color. That seems appropriate.
Yeah, that seems totally appropriate. I
will
show up as a boy band singer to my job. No, it's not happening either.
To your job. You could just shave it off. It wouldn't matter.
beard or shaved head, your pick.
How
Paul,
about this? Oh, I got one.
I'm gonna go ahead
I got
and
one.
say
Jeff,
no.
hold on, Jeff. Maybe you have to shave your beard, but you can keep the mustache, and then you'll be like you're on Team Flanders.
That I could get behind. I could get behind.
I think that's fair.
I think that's fair.
I'll go completely. I'll go buttery smooth.
Fair. I'll have my beard back in 5 days. So
that's what I'm saying. That's a low
Yeah.
bar. That's a low bar.
Wait,
The
who are we
mustache should be
losing?
back in like 2 weeks, a week.
This is just us losing against each other.
Yeah, this is just you. And I think is it?
'Cause we're
But
both
hold
gonna
on, no.
finish.
I need to know the rules. Like if I'm gonna compete, is it
Is it just
our teams?
the ranking of our
Whose
teams?
total teams? Like which one's higher?
Yeah.
Okay. So not just like Jeff versus me personally.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not fish
Fair
v
enough.
fish. Is that what you were thinking, Paul?
Yeah, I was.
It's
If
like
it was
best
you and me,
fish.
it would just be who gets the better.
Your best
both.
fish or
It
my
would
best
be-
fish?
Yeah.
I'm good with either. I do like the candy corn suggestion because it means I don't have to.
Well,
shave
that
my
was
face.
That was Chaw's.
No, Brennan Brown said it too.
God.
Candy corn pizza was the Chaw's.
What is the candy? What is the candy corn? The other candy corn option?
Oh, it's just straight up candy corn. Ooh.
Do you eat candy corn? I don't.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh God!
Bet.
Don't.
Oh
Do I have
no.
to eat a whole hamburger? Oh no! Okay.
No hat in videos for a month. That's actually kind of a good bet.
It's not a big deal at all.
That's a great bet.
Why
No,
is it for
Paul
Jeff
Paul
a big
has never
deal?
been without his hat either. He's always
I
wearing
wear a
his hat.
hat at home. I wear a hat 80% of the time I'm alive.
Exactly.
I wear a hat if I'm not at work.
I think that's pretty fun. I think it should be maybe like I get to pick your baits for a month. Starting when we actually like are fishing again.
I was gonna say because that would be in like April or May.
Oh yeah, cool. Oh no, not in December.
Oh no, not for for December. Oh god.
not the ice fishing season that we may or may not have, but like we start fishing in spring. I get to pick
The
baits.
only thing that sucks about not wearing a hat is that I would need to get new headphones because these don't get any smaller. And the only way they stay on my head comfortably is if I wear a hat. So I'd have to get new headphones. That would actually be like the biggest problem with that bet. That I'd be like, meh. I need new headphones. No, I'm not doing the one chip challenge. Look, so I recently, normally I'd be down.
No,
and like, if you asked me this a month ago, I would have said yes. But 2 weeks ago, at work, I ate a ghost pepper, or no, a Reaper,
Why?
a Carolina Reaper, because I'm an insane person. And
so dumb.
This was at work, bro.
Yeah. Why?
I was in like business attire and business casual attire.
Crying.
And
pouring mucus
I was
out of your
sweating
ears.
so profusely. And I had to pretend like it wasn't a big deal. It was a big deal. Okay. Like my body was struggling.
Yep.
I wasn't as bad as the other person at work that ate the pepper.
Sure.
They had to like basically leave.
I like where that's terrible. I like where we're going with this though. What if we just go to a gas station and then like whoever won gets to pick the other person something from the gas station?
Something? I think it's $20 worth of garbage that you have to make them eat. Like it's got to be just absolutely dog crap.
We're gonna be in Alabama too. You know, there's gonna be like pickled feet.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you eat
eggs.
I'm gonna make you eat like turkey gizzard, and then right after that, like a baby bottle pop.
Like $20 could probably get me 50 chicken feet that you have to eat. So I'm kind of excited about that.
It's not really an issue for me. This is
I don't understand where the problem starts because it's not here.
No one's going to Buc-ee's because it's going to be like good food. That's like going
it'll
to
be
Costco.
delicious.
That's like going to Costco and being like, oh, I have to eat bad stuff at Costco.
We're going to
you're either eating like an industrial chair or you're eating delicious queso dip. Like it's not going to be a problem.
Both of which are wins. No, we're going to the gas station that is in the shadow of the Buc-ee's.
That's
like the one around
right.
the corner that's
across
out of business.
the street that's literally hanging on by a thread.
It's boarded up. We're going in there and we're going to be like, where are your Big Mama pickles from 2004? Like I want those.
Yeah.
That's what you got to eat.
I think facial hair is the best. I think facial hair is the best. And there's also an element of like you can film that. You can film that. And
Sure.
it's funny.
Wow. Yep.
It lasts it's like a week of impact.
It's like a week of impact.
Yeah. And my face naked does feel and look very strange though.
Like
to me
all
now,
faces naked, I believe.
It was
like,
so weird. I was like, what is
weird.
wrong with this guy's face? I'm like, that's mine?
I look obscene without my beard. So
I think it's a great idea. I like it.
want to terrify my children. I don't think facial hair to facial hair volume is equivalent, so I don't find the fairness here.
Do you want me to also do the hat then? Like I have to shave everything and do the hat?
Oh, that sounds so painful for you. And eat one candy corn.
And eat one candy. Yeah. Oh no! Please.
Oh no!
Please no.
All right. So we'll do since you only really have like the stash and the goatee. It's you have to shave and you can't wear a hat for a month. Fair?
Is that good enough?
I don't think it's good enough still.
It's not. Yeah, I agree.
Because you don't care about the hat.
I don't care at all.
He'll eat anything. He's literally a dumpster.
The eating is not a problem. Like you guys, like you could be like, oh, you have to eat this desk, and I'd be like, okay.
Yeah. Paul, no, I wouldn't let Paul do that. His children will run screaming from the room. This is not allowed. We can't terrify the kids, you guys. Like, you gotta understand. Paul will be Aang, the Avatar: The Last Airbender.
It's part of my Halloween costume. Halloween was a month ago.
He's got to draw that arrow up on your head. I kind of love it, but you're already a Blastoise, so I mean, there's that too.
I should just call it my Blastoise costume. It's pretty dope. All
right, we'll think more about this. How about that? Because we need a volume equivalent.
You guys, all of you guys, think about something.
I love
just submit something. Like, give us some ideas, some real ideas. One, like, I have to be able to go to work, you guys. I have to be able to go to work in like a business setting.
That's what I'm saying. And I don't want to scare my kids. So
I don't care about your kids, all right?
I don't either. I'm just kidding.
Oh no.
All right, this is the slow rolling thunder, you guys. We will make a channel on Discord. Thank you, Chaz, for that. So if you're on our Discord, and if you're not, you should join. But if you're on our Discord, you can join that channel, and you guys can throw out some ideas there as well. But
preferential treatment to people who are on our team.
Oh, 100%. Like,
yeah,
if you're on Team Stark, Team Flanders, like,
I will say I like the shave idea. Because how about this?
It's not equal, bro. I got way more facial hair than you.
I was about to juicing it up a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
If you let me.
Hang on. So everybody start chatting. We're gonna keep talking about this because we gotta do a Shmiv away. So we do have a $25 Monster Bass gift card that will be going to one lucky winner. In order to win, you have to type something in chat. So you can type an idea that's super terrible and dumb for us to do if one of us loses, or you can just say chat. Doesn't matter. So just keep typing away. All right, and then we'll draw somebody in a little bit. Paul, go ahead. What do you got?
Okay.
How are you gonna make this equal?
I think this is probably too much. Probably too far.
Oh, okay.
I like
where are we going?
Well, I have to. What if I shave my entire head down to like a 1? Like a 1 guard.
I mean, it's certainly even. Is it now swayed in the other direction?
I think it's swayed in the other direction because I got to go to work. Like
I know.
But it's probably only like a week. It's probably only a week. I also don't have feelings, so like it doesn't really matter.
I think you should write ice in the back of your hair. like Hocus Pocus.
I could. What
I'm not Paul no more. It's ice.
I got it. I got it.
Okay.
I got it. I will. My hair is normally very short. I will cut it like this week, like the normal, and I will let it grow out, and it will be back where it is like right now, where it's like too long.
Okay.
I will let you go down to a 2 guard. 2 guard. You can do whatever you want on my head. Because then I can just shave it off and it'll just be like fine.
And then
it'll be like no big deal.
So it's normal.
No big deal. It's erasable. I'll let you do whatever you want. Add a 2 guard.
You have to post a video like that. So either
that's the
way,
video. I will not look at anything.
Right.
You can do whatever you can just go nuts.
Channel is live in Discord.
Is that not good?
We'll start with this. We'll settle on this for now. So I will go stash only. So everybody is this helping? Like mustache only.
That's a little bit.
So I'll go mustache only until my beard grows back. We'll do a video where I shave for that. Okay. Or if I win, the more likely story, then I will shave your head however I want. But a 2 guard. We'll
bring the clippers down with the 2 guard, and you can go nuts.
And the Flanders stash has to go too, right?
That's fine. I don't care.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. Just make sure. I mean, if you're at that point, your team's dead. So it's like, you gotta lose.
Wow.
It's done. It's over.
All right.
Then we make a shirt with the other team like in the ground. It's just a gravestone that just says Flanders, and like your mustache is on the gravestone. If I win, I'll make that shirt.
If we can't make Jesus holding up Bass, then I don't want to make that shirt.
All
right.
I didn't say that we couldn't. I just said we shouldn't. And we shouldn't. But we could.
We definitely should. Okay. It's putting Jesus in a positive light. All right.
As a bass.
He wasn't holding up dinks.
It's the Bass Messiah. Yeah, my grandma, who is now like 90, will drive up here.
Break her wrist.
She will. By striking my dome, she'll break her wrist. All right, let's draw a Schmiv-away winner, shall we? Let's do that.
Dan Mulder, my head is already basically shaved, my dude. It's a non-issue.
Yep. David who?
David Ellis?
David Alice?
Ellis.
I just saw him chat not too long ago. So David Alice, you have one said $25 Monster Bass gift card. So he says cool. All right, cool. Cool. Neat. Rad. You're like me in text with Paul. Rad. K.
K. Like my dad. Hey, Dad, I graduated from college. I made $1 million in the first year. Okay.
As
no
you
period.
Should. As
no
you
exclamation point. Just K.
Dot, dot, dot. So,
yeah, something very cryptic, like dot, dot, dot.
Comma.
Cool.
Semicolon. David Ellis, nice work. Congrats. We'll get that out to you. So you got to follow the instructions on the screen. Charles just sent you a little chat there as well. So make sure you do that. We'll get you that gift card real soon, and then you can go pick up something. He goes, really cool. We just got upgraded, Paul. Really cool.
My dad would never say that.
My dad would never say that.
Not unless the Lions won a playoff game. Then he would definitely say that. No, that's B Dooley. This guy's a better fisherman than me shirt. Like,
with an arrow.
Yeah,
points
to the winner.
Up
okay.
To me. To myself.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever.
The theory's okay.
Yep. We will have fun regardless. And
I like the idea of filming the shaving with like a blindfold on.
Yeah, sure. Love it. Wait, you're gonna like shave my beard?
No, you're gonna have to do that. But if it's me that loses, like you get to we'll do an unveiling. I think that's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's great. I'm gonna write words.
Are you thinking about what you're gonna do?
I already know exactly what I'm gonna do. I've been thinking about this forever.
Is it? Is it
Can you imagine? It's like, oh my god, finally, my chance.
Is it genitalia?
What? I would never. You have
yes, you would? What do you mean never?
You have a job.
5 minutes ago, you were like, the first thing I would do is.
I would never do that.
So what is it?
Put your career in jeopardy? My gosh.
So what is it?
I'm not gonna tell you. You're like literally, let's blindfold me. But you want me to tell you what I'm gonna do right now?
I'm curious.
You'll have to find out.
Why you're gonna be there? What are you worried about?
You'll see, Chaz. Everybody will see. Hashtag loser.
Hashtag loser. That's pretty funny, actually. I don't hate that.
It's just a big L.
Yeah, like a big L. It's pretty good, actually.
Just a big L. I
That's
love
funny.
it. And he'll just have to rock it for the day, obviously until work on Monday. So I get it for a limited amount of time. But I think, whoa, a tattoo? No, B Dooley. Paul doesn't have any tattoos.
None.
So I would be stoked to get one anyways. I've been wanting another tattoo for years. Yes, Charles, we are the tattooed ones. That's us. That's our little club. And Paul's not invited. All right. That's all we got for tonight.
You guys have the best candy corns in your club.
We get candy corn out on.
That's what I'm missing out on.
You can't have any, so shut up. All right, we're out of here tonight, you guys. You guys are awesome. It's been a lot of fun. We did promise you that we were going to do a little bracket coming up soon. So I think we got to move it to next week,
It's already made.
Yeah, it's already made. We made it after the last show. So we just talked to Chad, wanted to get Chad Hoover on the show. So we did. There you go. Obviously, if you guys are fishing in this tournament or even the Fan Fish Off, pay attention to their channels. Make sure you're watching Fluke Master. Make sure that you're watching Chad Hoover, KBF, all that stuff. There'll be a lot of tips coming out from them, especially if you don't fish down there. You haven't fished down south before. This should be really helpful for you. We know it'll be helpful for us. And we're going to do a big old tackle order. Not right now, probably, but probably later this week. I think we should order that so that we can get it in time and we can do an unboxing. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So next week, let's do a bracket. It's going to be fishing brands, the fishing brand showdown. So get ready to vote. You're going to come in, you're going to vote. It's all you guys. Like, you're going to let us know which brand is the best and the worst.
That was fun.
No, not the worst, but only the best. We're going to know who the champion
We had
brand
interactive
is.
live voting for anyone that wasn't on the last show, and it was a ton of
so
fun.
much fun.
Props to Chaz. It was a lot of fun.
High
and
energy.
That might just be our new shtick.
Yep. So yeah, that's a new show. We're gonna do that for all the rest of the show. So if you listen on audio only,
was
you
fun.
are missing out.
It was fun.
Yeah. So let's have some fun with that. Again, we'll be back next Wednesday, same time, same place. And next month, when we're at this event, we plan on, if technology cooperates, doing a live, possibly 2 lives, maybe a members only live. I don't know. We'll keep you guys apprised as we get closer to the dates. That's it. Finally, we're signing off. Love you guys. Thank you, nerds, for being here tonight. Chaz, take us out.
Took a swing at a wrecking ball and I prayed for my downfall, and I found a way to reconcile, 'cause in my heart it's not worthwhile. It's a bloody battlefield where some go down, others heal. In the end it's all the same. All you can do is play the game.